What's going on, guys? This is Zach here, aka CabCGT. I'm bringing you a video here over on my TV and show movies channel, so check it out, like if you like and subscribe. But anyways, we're going to be taking a look at Season 11, Episode 1, Walking Dead, Archeron Part 1. So spoiler warning, if you haven't seen it, you should go check that out. Unless you just want to kind of watch this, see what's going on. I mean, I ain't mad at you. But anyways, this is your official spoiler warning in case you haven't seen it, and this would kind of like ruin your experience. But let's jump right in. And as you could see while I was talking, this is how the episode starts out. We got this beautiful shot of Daryl. It's like obviously we've seen a different side of Daryl this last season or two. It just ever since Rick gone, he's not being like Rick, but he is. Like he's definitely been influenced by him. So just seeing that he wants to help rebuild Alexandria is super refreshing. So it starts out with Daryl, Jerry, and a couple of the guys with mainly the badass women in the group. They're going to what appears to be maybe an old military base. They're going to recover food. Alexandria's hurting for food. Long story short. So what we've seen them a lot, they repelled from the roofs. What we've seen a lot is them grabbing MREs, I believe they're called, basically big bags of it. And long story short, they're giving them to their rappels to hoist it out. They're trying to, all these walkers are actually alive, but they're sleeping. They're like in a dormant phase, so they're trying not to wake them up. Well, there's a little accident when one of the ropes is about to split and Daryl catches it and cuts himself. This droplet of blood comes down, and next thing you know, they're awake. And yeah, things kind of get crazy after that. But no one dies. It all gets handled. We got obviously you've seen that picture of what everyone was there. We have also Magna and Kelly there. So, they handle it, they get everything out. Carol does a risky move, gets them like one more bag of MREs. So she's thinking in her mind should be a decent amount of food. And in the meantime, like as it's transitioning to them going back to Alexandria, and I don't have a picture of them, but we also see Eugene, Ezekiel, Yumiko, and Princess going into the Commonwealth of what would appear to be like I'm thinking kind of like how the Saviors had different post points throughout their place that weren't at the sanctuary. This is appearing to be like a settlement of that type of deal. So they're getting taken in. And yeah, let's just cover what goes on for a little bit in there real quick. So they're going through what's called processing. And basically they're getting interviewed, asking if they're fundamentally like honest people and all that. Peep the guy in the background here, major character in the comics, Mercer. Really cool. I just really can't wait to see him be more included in the show. Like obviously he's going to be. This is just kind of him teasing them. We don't know if these guys are good guys or bad guys in the show yet. It kind of is both ways in the comics, and I expect it to go similarly, like in this. So yeah, they're going through processing, basically asking them a bunch of questions. Long story short, they're trying to trick them into saying where their settlement is. And like Ezekiel lies about having cancer. They notice the boil, the big garter, I think is what it's called, on his neck. And like he is over here, he starts questioning Mercer at one point, and he starts coughing, and he gives him that glass of water over there, and that kind of ends up them going back into their where all four of them are staying, which I'll get into that in a little bit because I want to go over what's going on in Alexandria at the same time. Kind of, they did a not a lot of jumping back and forth, but a decent amount. Anyways, so our group is getting back, and they had a bunch of bags of stuff. Apparently, a pretty big run. And as you can see, we got Gage, Jerry, I'm drawing a blank, Lydia, Alden, Rosita, Kelly. That's Cole right there. Is that Cole? I think that's Cole. I think that's his name. I might be wrong on that. Just saying. Um, so yeah, we come to find out Maggie sees Herschel, and Herschel's like, "Oh, some more of our group." So they found four more. I have a picture of them somewhere? These people. These are some of the people that were in Maggie's group before the fall, or before the like Reapers attacked. These apparently are four of her best fighters, is what we learn at a meeting here in a little bit. Anyways, so it kind of like we get introduced to them real quickly. We come to find out. Oh wait, long story short, I found the one picture. That's them getting transported back. Just to jump back. All right. Anyways, they're having a meeting. So basically, Gabriel says, with all that run, we have enough food for about a week. And Daryl's like, all that food just a week? Like, really? He's like, yeah, we've taken in, two communities. Presumably meaning Hilltop and Kingdom, because Kingdom collapsed onto the Hilltop soon. Oceanside's only been able to take in a little bit, but Oceanside's been absent this episode, and in the extra episodes last season, it kind of felt the same. So, wonder what's going on with that. But yeah, Negan's in charge of helping keeping tabs on some of the inventory, so that's interesting because it seems like in Alexandria they're kind of trusting, but I'm gonna get more on what's going on later because all of a sudden the vibes are different, but that could be the consistency of the group at the end of the episode. Anyways, so they're having their meeting, and she's like, "I know a place where there's more than enough food for us to last till we can get farming, getting our stuff going. I want my son here. I got my people here. I got skin in the game." And they're like, "Where is it?" And she's like, "Meridian. It's a place where we were before this. They had all this stuff, but then they came and took us out. But we can take them." And basically, they're talking about the Reapers, and Aaron's concerned that she's going to chase ghosts, which that might be part of it. Anyways, and they're like, basically, what's the difference now compared to like what makes you think you can do it now but you couldn't do it then? And she's like, I got my four best fighters back. I didn't have them the first time. And basically that's what they think the difference is. And see, Aaron and Rosita are the two that are mostly concerned. I'm guessing this is what the council is made up of right now, minus Michonne, obviously. Be curious to see where Michonne thought of all this, would like what the difference would be. Really curious what's going on with her. Can't wait to see more about that. But long story short, we got our man. It's like, I'll do it. Anybody else? All of Maggie's people raise their hand. Alden raises his hand. Um, Gabriel's down. Rosita's a little pissed off about that. And yeah, so in that notion, they're on a mission to go to DC, get to Meridian. As you can see, that's the group. It's pouring. There's Dog. Actually, Dog's got his battle suit on. He's ready to go. It's so cool. Anyway, so it's raining. Negan's with too. So basically, Maggie quote wanted to take Negan because be the tour guide because he knows his way around DC. And she's like, "How much further?" Negan's like, she's kind of communicating with him, and he's like, about I forgot, like 6 more hours, but we can't be walking in this. And she's like, "No, we keep going." Daryl's like, "Nah, he's right." And then there's a subway, like one of those little things that take you underground into the subway, like one of those little huts. I'm not sure what they call it. Looked like a bus stop made out of cement. So she points at that, and Daryl said, "Let's do that." So they go down there, and they're gonna take the subway. So basically, he knows his way around this too. The problem is they're hearing creepy noises, and Negan points out, you can kind of see it in this picture. There's water lines, meaning that this floods often, and Negan's like skeptical about everything going on. And tension ends up getting really crazy. Like the Negan goes, "You know what that noise really is? It's just loud, creaking, crazy noise. It's God telling us not we shouldn't be down here." And Gabriel's like, "Don't you think he would run that by me first?" And like, yeah, there's now all of a sudden like it seemed like people after like the Whisperer thing or like in that time, even while he was still technically locked up, people were being decently cool with Negan. Now this group is mainly being an asshole, but I guess most of it is Maggie's people, but there is Gabriel, Alden, Gage, and Daryl, which kind of expect that from Daryl, but Gabriel's been decent with Negan, it seemed like, so it's kind of weird. I thought that was something strange in the episode to me. But yeah, so eventually, like, she's like taking us into our like death, and even Alden threatens Negan, like, I'm about to put a sock in your mouth. He's like, "I'd like to see you get on your tippy toes and try." And Negan's like, "Both of you stop it." At one point, like, Negan's calling, or Daryl, rather. At one point, Negan's calling Maggie on her shit. And like, Maggie's like, "Keep going." And Negan's like, "Daryl, can I talk to you for a minute?" He's like, "What do you think? We're buddies? We're not." And like, he's like, "You're in on it." Like, meaning like she's gonna kill me. So, and it ends up getting to this point where Negan's like, "I'm out," because Gage, I know I have a picture. We seen him earlier, but so Gage gets attacked by a walk. Like, oh wait, I gotta also. So this is after this point. Down the tunnel. Well, that's gonna be a small picture. That might look a little weird. Yeah. See if I can. Long story short, there's a lot of bodies down that tunnel, and yeah, it results in Maggie pulling the gun on Negan because he's like, "I am out." basically they were supposed to be killing them as they go. Well, right before that, I guess it's worth mentioning. Negan's like, "How did all these people die?" And she's like, "They died before the fall." And he's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "What? I'm asking, are you sure? We're about to march in there, and what killed them could be down here." And I'm asking, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Take them all out." Basically, those body bagged walkers had their throats slit almost enough to sever the head, but they were still alive, so they could get you through the bag. So they're killing him as they go. Gage almost gets killed by what looked like a well walker, and Negan saves him. And basically, no one else tried to help him. He calls Maggie on her shit like, "You're just taking me down here to kill me like a dog, then drag me through the mud. I'm asking you to just do it here. Didn't kill me, don't kill me like the dog that Glenn was, or something like that." And Daryl punches him, and she pulls the gun, basically saying, "There's a little piece of me. I ain't the same girl that I was back then, and a little bit of her is what's keeping me from killing you. So come on, keep pushing me." And they move forward, and pretty soon they get to where there's a dead end. But we're gonna talk about that in a moment because let's finish up what's going on with our homies in the Commonwealth. So they're enjoying a nice prison style gruel meal. Basically, Princess breaks it down that two of the soldiers are having an affair and that they take their armor off. They've gotten to this point that they need to get out of here. They've complied and all that. They need to get out of here. So they basically are able to steal this armor. And what, like, Eugene wanted to stay put for a minute, but this guy got reprocessed again for like, they asked someone, they were in there for like 9 months and this and that. And he's like, "All right, yeah, we got to get out of here." So she brings up how she noticed that two people are having an affair and they got to take their armor off. That's when they have the idea to steal the armor and get out of here. Well, as they're about to come out, this picture is also going to look weird. I'll probably try to in post just make it a little bigger so it blends in. But there's a wall of the lost, and there's Yumiko, her sister's in there. It makes Yumiko want to stay. So yeah, yeah. That in the comics it was Michonne, and Michonne had a daughter, Elode, and that's what made Michonne want to stay. And Michonne was the lawyer in the. Actually, she might have been a lawyer in this show too. I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, yeah. So now Yumiko is gonna want to stay. Now cut back to what's going on in our good old train, train railway. So they're coming up. There's all those body bag walkers, and the train is blocking it. Also at this time, Agnes and Gage ran off, I believe. Scared. I get it. And yeah, so I don't think I have any pictures of this off top, but I'm gonna tell you what goes down because it's crazy. So the walkers start. There's a horde of walkers coming to them. The train and rubble has it blocked off. Dog runs through a little thing. Daryl's like, "I'll meet you guys through it." They got to climb up on top of the train and go inside it and then walk through the train. Pretty much everyone makes it through. Maggie and Negan are the last two. Negan climbs up, and the walkers are getting close, and Maggie finally starts to climb up, and she's hanging there, and the walkers are starting to grab at her feet, and she's struggling, and Negan looks back around, and Maggie actually calls out to Negan for help, and Negan just stares and turns around, and then the last thing is her falling. Now, full disclosure, I don't think she dies. I think it's gonna be like a Glenn dumpster situation, but basically Negan took an opportunity there because Maggie is making him. He's on this road to redemption, and she's gonna be the main thing that stops it. Carol, Gabriel, Daryl, all of them gave him opportunities, and it would appear that, in his mind, anyways, that she's doing all this just to kill him away from Alexandria, so that way she has a good way to do it. Now, I know Maggie doesn't die because we've seen promotional material that shows Maggie in different scenes. Also shows them, like, seeing some pictures of Maggie and Negan working together. So I'm curious what this did to either help or not help that scenario. Also, like with some of the promotionals for next week, Maggie's group, the people that are inside the train are asking where Maggie was, and he's like, "Oh, she was right behind me. I don't know." And yeah, I don't know. At one point, I don't know his name, but the big guy back there with the big beard, he was holding Negan against the wall, asking where she is. So I'll be curious. At this time of recording, it's Sunday afternoon for me. I watched it early on AMC Plus, And I didn't expect a new episode to be early access till Thursday because that's what they've done in the past. And I see it's up today, so I'm gonna be watching it momentarily, and I'll get a review for that ready. So stay tuned. I'll probably release that early. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. But otherwise, if you're a fan of Star Wars and Marvel, I plan on starting to keep up with those, starting with the What If series and Shang-Chi that is coming out soon. So yeah. Anyways, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching, and let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Peace, peace.